Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news. The buzz around the NFL right now, especially among Bills fans, is centered on an intriguing potential trade that could shake up the AFC East and give Buffalo a serious boost on their quest for Super Bowl glory. Rumors are swirling that the Los Angeles Chargers might be willing to part ways with Khalil Mack, a legendary pass rusher whose impact on the field is undeniable, in exchange for a first-round pick and a fifth-round pick from Buffalo. If this deal goes through, it could represent a game-changing move for the Bills' defense, especially on the pass rush and overall defensive efficiency. Now, let's dig into why this is such a big deal. Khalil Mack, despite being 34 years old, remains a force to be reckoned with in the NFL. His career stats are nothing short of phenomenal, over 108. 5 sacks, 352 total pressures, and a career PFF pass rush grade of 92. 8. He's an 8-time Pro Bowler, and his pressure rate of roughly 16. 2% over his career shows just how consistent he's been at applying pressure on quarterbacks. In today's NFL, where passing is king, adding a player like Mack to the Bills' front seven would be a statement of intent, signaling that Buffalo is serious about contending for a deep playoff run and ultimately reaching their second Super Bowl appearance in recent years. But why would the Chargers, a team that's rebuilding after losing stars like Joey Bosa to injury and a defense that's been leaking points, consider trading Mack now? Well, reports are indicating that Los Angeles is looking to shed cap space, around $65 million, while also acquiring future draft assets to rebuild their defense with youth. They're in a bit of a rebuild mode, especially after a disappointing season where they allowed 26 points per game and struggled to generate consistent pressure. Their defense, which was supposed to be bolstered by veterans, hasn't lived up to expectations, and with Bosa sidelined for much of this season, they're looking to reset. For the Bills, this could be a perfect storm. Buffalo currently has about $1.9 million in cap space, thanks to restructures like the one on Josh Allen's contract, which gives them some flexibility to bring in a player of Mack's caliber without sacrificing their entire offseason budget. Incorporating Mack into their defense, alongside other key players like Ed Oliver, who's been a disruptive force with a PFF grade of 86. 4 and 8 sacks himself, would significantly elevate their pass rush. Buffalo's current total sacks for the season sit around 38, but with Mack, projections suggest that number could jump to around 54, representing a 26% increase in pressures. That's the kind of boost that can turn a good defense into a top-tier unit capable of shutting down the league's most potent offenses. The impact on the Bills' defense would be profound. We're talking about a unit that already has playmakers, but adding Mack would give opposing offenses nightmares, especially considering his ability to disrupt the pocket and pressure quarterbacks like Mac Jones or Tua Tagovailoa. His presence would also help improve their run defense, which has sometimes been exposed this season. Buffalo's run defense is currently allowing around 120 yards per game. With Mack's ability to set the edge and make plays against the run, that number could drop closer to 90 yards per game, making life much harder for opponents trying to establish the run. Furthermore, Mack's versatility allows him to be effective in a variety of defensive schemes. He can line up inside or outside, rush the passer, or drop back into coverage when needed. His 89.6 pass rush grade in the playoffs last season shows that he elevates his game when it matters most. For the Bills, this isn't just about adding a star. It's about creating a defensive front that can dominate in big moments and give their secondary the support it needs to lock down receivers. From an analytics perspective, adding Mack could increase the Bills' expected points added by nearly 19% versus the pass. A huge leap for a team that's already shown offensive explosiveness with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. It's also worth noting that this move could help Buffalo better contain the division rivals like the Dolphins and Jets, who have been aggressive on offense and have mobile quarterbacks that can extend plays. Mack's pass rushing ability could be a crucial factor in disrupting those plays, creating more sacks and turnovers. Looking ahead to the playoffs, the stakes are even higher. Buffalo's odds of winning the Super Bowl currently sit around plus 350, but with Mac in the fold, those odds could improve significantly, potentially dropping to plus 180. His ability to be a difference maker in high-pressure situations, especially in the postseason, cannot be overstated. Last year's playoff run saw the Bills' defense struggle at times against tough opponents, but adding a player like Mac could tip the scales in their favor, giving them that extra edge needed to go all the way. Of course, this kind of move isn't just about immediate impact. It also signals the Bills' intentions for the future. Buffalo has been building a competitive roster, and acquiring Mac would send a loud message that they're all in on chasing a Super Bowl title this season and beyond. It's about creating a front seven that's not just good but legendary, like the dominant defenses of the Peppers era in Chicago, where a relentless pass rush could change everything. With about $1. $9 million in cap space available, the Bills could also make some minor adjustments or sign secondary pieces to complement this upgraded front, perhaps even adding a cornerback or safety to bolster their secondary. Meanwhile, the Chargers, on the other hand, seem resigned to their current position. They're ceding some of their defensive prowess for future draft capital and cap flexibility. They're aware that their roster needs a youth infusion, and trading away a veteran like Mac might be part of a broader strategy to rebuild from the trenches outward. It's a tough pill to swallow for Chargers fans, who have seen Mac deliver some of his best seasons in a Los Angeles uniform. But it's a savvy move from their perspective, prioritizing long-term growth over short-term competitiveness. For the Bills, this potential acquisition isn't just about adding another star. It's about reshaping their entire defense into a feared unit that can dominate games. It's about creating chaos in the backfield and making life miserable for opposing quarterbacks. It's about setting the tone for a playoff run that could see Buffalo finally hoist the Lombardi Trophy again. Their fans are already dreaming of the possibilities. Imagine a front seven with Ed Oliver, Von Miller, and Khalil Mack all working in tandem to dismantle offenses week after week. The NFL is a league of adjustments, and smart teams know that sometimes. The difference between winning and losing comes down to a single trade, a clutch play, or a strategic move that catches everyone by surprise. This potential deal between the Bills and Chargers ticks all those boxes. It's a gamble, sure, but one that could pay off in a big way, propelling Buffalo into a new echelon of defensive dominance. With Mac's proven track record, playoff performance, and leadership qualities, he could become the X factor that tips the balance in Buffalo's favor in the critical moments of the season. So as we await official confirmation, Bills Mafia should be on the edge of their seats. This isn't just another rumor, it's a statement of intent. Buffalo is positioning itself to be a serious contender, and adding Khalil Mack would be a bold step toward that goal. The AFC East is already competitive, but with this kind of upgrade, the Bills could establish a new standard for what it means to be a dominant, championship-caliber team. The road to Super Bowl LX is long and winding, but moves like this remind us that Buffalo never backs down from a fight. They're here to win, and they're willing to make bold moves to get there. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Buffalo Bills news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think Khalil Mack is the missing piece that can push Buffalo over the top? Would you be willing to give up a first-round pick to bring in a veteran of his caliber? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Bills. This is a moment that could define the season, and we want to hear your voice. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for all the latest Buffalo Bills news. Let's keep that passion burning, and as always, go Bills.